Well, we're all very proud of the eco-friendly reputation of Salford, especially on the recycling, and we're excited about two schools in Salford that have been doing initiatives. Moorside School has a primary school eco-council, and another school in this area, just half a mile from Salford Uni, is Somerville, and that's an eco school. So they've been doing gardening and tree planting, anything like that. We just love it.
And what do you think people can do day to day, say students or families, that will contribute more to this?
Yeah, that's a good question. The most important thing is to reconsider your flying patterns. So even if you're a migrant here, you could reduce your number of flights by half, and it would make a huge difference. Whereas other things regarding your diet or your littering, they're not going to have as much of an effect. But we do feel strongly about the recycling, which in Salford, unfortunately, sometimes the student residences have been left out of the recycling scheme. So you have to participate yourself. You have to make the effort, bag up your things.
And what about in terms of renewable energy and solar panels and things like that? How many houses would you say in Salford are sort of using that renewable energy, or is it not as high as it should be?
It's actually higher in Wigan, and you think, well, how could that be? It seems like Salford is much more awake to the issues than Wigan, but Wigan also has a really good cycle sharing scheme, and Salford doesn't have that. So there's a lot of historical issues why, but I would say the solar panel scheme needs the support of central government, so we need a new government. We need to change the government, have a general election, and then it would grow again, because it was very popular, and my neighbours have solar, but I can't afford to do all the changes in my house that you would need.
Yeah. And what are the main things you think you need to focus on now in terms of campaigning and getting people involved?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, we like to do socials just along the Crescent, and here you see all the trees around us. I mean, we're standing by this beautiful river with Peel Park and the meadows. So we raise awareness through, the attempt to reduce litter, and we do litter picks. And I think that everybody could do with, instead of criticizing the litter, actually get involved in removing it, because when people see you doing that, then they realize, yeah, this is a community. Yeah. But we need to rescue these trees. I mean, the council has proposed that we have a footbridge over the Irwell here at the Crescent, and I think that's not a good choice, because you'd have to cut down a lot of mature trees, and they're holding up the banks of the river. Now in 2015 this river flooded significantly, and Peel Park was completely covered in water, so that when they built the new blocks for students on Peel Park, it looked a bit risky, but they didn't put residents in the bottom floor. I think those blocks are durable if we have another flood, but it's being aware that the flood issue is there, and that we need to degrowth, we need less growth, and we need to change them. That's actually a happy message, so just be happy, do your crafts, enjoy your singing, leisure, art. If you see the Extinction Rebellion people, they're very happy, and you can find happiness without having a huge income. So we stand for more equality, getting basic income in for everybody, a good pension, and making everyone feel safe and secure.
Yeah, see, I think that's the thing. I think students and things think, oh, it's more expensive to say be eco-friendly or recycle, or people almost can't be bothered, but I think it's more changing your lifestyle, would you say?
For me, the issue is about students belonging. In my opinion, students in Salford belong in our community. We are the community. There's no separation. But I think the council sometimes finds out that some students don't vote in Salford, so then they can ignore the streets where those students live, who are renting, who are temporary, who are voting in their homes, where they originate. And that really worries me. I feel that the council must represent everyone who lives here. And as a councillor, I would certainly be out walking and meeting people. And doing that, I found that people are very, very well-meaning, right? Every individual wants to solve these problems about litter, about air pollution. We have a lot of standing traffic in Salford, and we should use public transport more. So I favour the Better Buses campaign. And I think the students do. A lot of students use the train, which is a really great thing to do. So stand up, feel proud, don't be negative, and hope for the future. When you get embedded in a community, you can influence things. You can influence the school greenery, the parks, the pathways between, which in Salford we don't have enough pathways now near some of the tower blocks. So Greens are campaigning on that, and we're really happy that Salford has declared a climate emergency.
And do you have any other comments you'd like to add?
Well, I just think I would point out that there's no use thinking that consumers and purchasers can solve these problems. People are starting to think about their clothing being made of polyester and all sorts of personal issues. But I know for sure from the numbers and the facts that the issues are in manufacturing, energy, and large-scale flights. So I question why they're expanding the airport. They shouldn't expand the airport. They should say no. Why are they expanding our population in Salford by 25% in 5 years? We should say no. And why don't they have affordable housing where students could live in nice new flats? What the students get doesn't compare to all these 20 tower blocks in this area that are being built.